And it's once again time for Music Lessons in a Box Musical Bingo. Make sure you have your crayon or your marker and you are ready to circle the ones that get called. You need to get B-I-N-G-O either straight across or diagonal. And then what do you do, Kendra, if you get bingo straight across or diagonal?
Then you post it on social media, the hashtag Music Lessons in a Box.
Have to use the hashtag Music Lessons in a Box, and not everyone who has a card who's playing is going to be able to get all B-I-N-G-O, and not everyone who posts their winning card on Instagram is going to get the points because you have to be one of the first people in order to earn your points. So make sure you play right away and that you post your picture right away so you're one of the first winning people and you will get your points. I think that's it. Make sure you use this month's card and this month's video. Good luck!
This note is on the space above the treble clef, making it a G. Since the spaces of the bass clef spell the word ace, A-C-E, this is the second one up, which means it's the C of ace. You get to mark it off if you have an F in the bass clef or the treble clef.
A decrescendo looks like a sideways V going from the big end to the little end, showing you that you should have a lot of sound going to a little sound.
Mezzo forte means kinda loud, because mezzo means kinda and forte means loud. It looks like fine, but it's pronounced fine, and it means it's the end, the finish. If two of the same notes have a swoopy line over or below them, that means they're tied together. You're only supposed to play the first one and just hold it out through the second one. Since forte means loudly, fortissimo means really loudly. It's usually indicated with two Fs next to each other. This whole note is worth 4 beats. This rest only has one notch or one flag on it, which means that it's an 8th rest worth 1/2. This counts as a B in the treble or the bass clef. This is a bass clef sign, also known as an F clef. It is the graph for all of the lower notes. This is on the first little ledger line above the bass clef, which means this is middle C. This half note is worth 2 beats. This counts as an A in the treble clef or the bass clef. The bass clef is the graph for all the lower notes. That is the incredible jazz pianist Bill Evans. Any quarter note or quarter rest is worth 1 beat. Forte means play it loudly. Mezzo piano means kinda softly because mezzo means kinda and piano means softly. This is the first ledger line below the treble clef, which makes it the all-important middle C. Anytime we have the treble clef and bass clef showing up together, it's called the grand staff. The second line up in the bass clef is always going to be a B. staccato is a dot above or below a note, and it just tells you that you're supposed to disconnect that note from the other ones around. Don't hold it out a long time. This note is on the top line of the bass clef, which means it's an A. That's an eighth note, which is worth 1/2. An accent looks like a little V on its side above or below a note, and it just means to punch that one a little bit harder, make it a little bit louder. The third line up on the bass clef is always going to be a D. A measure is just a chunk of beats within a song. Most songs have at least 8 or more measures. Some of them have up to like hundreds of measures. A repeat sign is 2 dots stacked on top of each other that tell you to go back and play it all again. This is the great composer Scott Joplin, sometimes classified as a classical composer, but usually classified as a jazz composer. Tenuto means to hold the note for the full value, maybe a little bit longer. This dotted quarter rest is worth 1.5 beats. That's a quarter note, which is worth 1. The spaces of the bass clef spell A-C-E, ace, and this is on the very bottom one, so it's the A of ace. This is the great, the amazing Bach. This half note is worth 2 beats. BPM stands for beats per minute, and it's the tempo marking for any metronome. Since the spaces of the treble clef spell the word face, F-A-C-E, this one is on the bottom, which makes it the F of face. This counts if you've got a C in the treble clef or in the bass clef. Pianissimo means really quiet, and it usually has 2 P's in a row. 1 P is quiet, 2 P's is pianissimo, really quiet. The third space up on the bass clef is always going to be an E because the spaces spell the word ace, A-C-E. This is the third one, it's an E. 4/4 time is the time signature where we can have up to 4 quarter notes in each measure. Eight VB means you're supposed to play that section 1 octave or 8 notes lower. The time signature is what tells us how many beats are in each measure and what kind of note we're counting with. There's the granddaddy of them all, Louis Armstrong. A repetition is any part of a song or solo where you're just repeating some little group of notes. It kind of looks like a B, but it's actually a flat sign. It means to play the note slightly lower. The third line up on the treble clef is always a B. The fourth line on the treble clef is always going to be a D.
Did you win? I hope you won! That's all the ones that we're calling for today. So hopefully you were a winner, and if so, then you need to take a picture right away and post it to Instagram with the hashtag Music Lessons in a Box. And if you weren't a winner, don't worry. We're playing again next month. You'll get a new card, and you can pick up the points then. If you were the winner, let us know right away, and we'll see you next time. Love ya.
Bye.